Hey YouTubers, Zindrey here. I'm back again with another episode of Slay the Spire. On the last episode, we were the Silent and we got killed at the second boss, or the boss on the second level. And I ended the video a little abruptly. I did not show that we in fact had unlocked the Defect, even though I knew we did. So we're going to play him today. The other thing I discovered was we gave a curse card to the purple ghost, and we got a relic called Spirit Poop. Well, it turns out what Spirit Poop does is it takes off a point on your final score, and the line just says poopy -1. So I thought that was pretty funny, but I had stopped the camera, so I didn't get to show you that on camera. But I wanted to share because it was kind of funny. But anyway, today I'm going to start another run with the Defect. For those just joining the series, this is a fresh save file, so we don't have all of our unlocks yet, and we're just kind of stepping through the game and progressing together. So the Defect is kind of like this little robot, I don't know, automaton of some kind. Yeah, I guess it says a combat automaton. It's actually in the description. Which became self-aware. Ancient technology allows the manipulation of orbs. Has 75 hit points to start. Also starts with 99 gold. Its starting relic is Cracked Core. At the start of each combat, channel 1 lightning. So we're going to see that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and embark. And I will talk about the Defect a little bit here in the first couple of fights here. So Niao has brought us back again, this time as the Watcher. I'm sorry, I keep calling him the Watcher. The Defect. The Watcher's the next character. Another try. Talk. I brought you back. So we get the same choice we pretty much had last time because we did not... we died, I don't know exactly the criteria last time he was complaining about. At least get to a boss or something, but we died at a boss. I don't know, but these are only two choices. I'd rather have the max HP because it's permanent throughout the whole run. And I think there's more interesting stuff on the left. There's shops, campsites, relics, elites, and a shop pretty early on. So we're going to go over here. So here is the Defect. So the Cracked Core gives me a channeled orb. And the Cracked Core by its definition is a lightning core. So it's giving me these three glowing yellow, this orb with the 3 on it, basically is what I'm trying to say. At the end of your turn, deal 3 damage to a random enemy as its passive effect, and when I evoke it, I deal 8 damage to a random enemy. So there's cards that will allow you to evoke your orb, like this one. This says evoke your next orb twice. There are cards that will allow me channel. Channel will put whatever it says in there, in this case also lightning. It will basically fill up another one of the orb slots above my head, and there are ways to get more orb slots or even to take them away. So you've got all that to deal with, and also strikes and defends. The other thing that's going on is not all of the orbs are lightning. There's frost and dark and plasma, I believe, are the other 3. So those all do different things. So we'll see how it goes. At the moment, I'm fine with it being lightning. I'm going to go ahead and cast this zap card so I can get another stack of it going. I will... let's see. I'm going to block to mitigate a little bit of that damage, and I'm going to show you what evoking means with the dual cast. The reason why I don't like this card is because even though it evokes my next orb twice, by evoking it, it removes it, which means I don't get its benefit. So after it's gone. So this first one's going to go, and if you remember what the evoke was, deal 8 damage to a random enemy, right? So that's what it just did. It did that twice because the card said twice, but it's now removed it, so I don't have it there anymore. So one of the things I like, though, about the passive effects is they happen whenever you end a turn. So if I still had 2 lightnings at the end of the turn, I'd have 2 times... there would be 3 damage dealt to a random enemy, but since I'm down to 1 orb, when I hit the Y button, I'm going to get that single lightning strike. So in some ways, I'd rather have all my passive orbs built up, constantly doing stuff, than to spend them. But sometimes you need a little bit more damage and use the evoke cards to do that. So anyway, he's not attacking. We're just going to defend, and once again, if we had the passive orb, the other orb there, that would have been enough to kill him, but now we've got to take another turn. So, but he would have been as far down on his damage either. So, you know, it's like everything. There's a plus and minus. Alright, so here's a couple other things we can do. Stack. Gain block equal to number of cards in your discard. If I had something to go with that, I'd be interested in that. Leap is a great block card for the Defect. Darkness is good as well. Darkness is a completely different thing where it just builds up. And then when you evoke it, you do the amount of damage that you have on the little purple orb. So it becomes difficult because you don't get much benefit until you invoke it. So you have to be very efficient about being able to do the evocation to get the orbs to move around. So we're not in a great position to do that right now anyway, and I would much rather have the good block card. So let's go see if we can get anything cheap in here that's worth it. Okay, so obviously we have blue cards this time because we're playing a different character. Can't afford anything on the relics. Interesting. I'm not that interested in most of these. Melter is good just because if you get an enemy that's got a lot of block, you can hit this first and then do your other attacks after. You know, actually I'm gonna take that card. It's been pretty helpful. And I'm gonna go this way because I might get a shop and a rest area and an elite to pick from. A lot of you guys will probably hate me for doing this, but I never do this event. You basically, there's two of them. There's one that's based on relics, one that's based on gold. I can lose 11 HP and gain 75 gold. Well, I do have a, okay, so I never did this. This isn't the one I was thinking. I was really thinking about the relic one. The relic one gives you a percentage chance of finding a relic, and you take damage every time you try. So you can potentially not get anything at all. This is telling me I'm going to give you 75 gold, and you're going to lose 35 gold if you don't do it. So I'm gonna do this so I can at least get the extra gold out of it. That gives us a better chance of being able to buy something up here after this monster battle. So let's do that. All right, I don't think we've seen these guys so far in the series, even though they're really common. They have an ability called Curl Up. Once I hit them the first time, these are louses, by the way, I'm going to hit him, he's going to curl up and gain 4 block. And on the next turn, he's going to go back looking like he does right now. So I'm going to channel, I'm going to block, and I really would like to hit one of them just to get that curl up ability gone, and then let my lightning help out. So there's a lot of different ways to build up the Defect, and until I find cards that steer me in another way, I tend to always go for a lightning based build. So just because you start off with a couple of the cards you need to start working on that. So don't have a lot of great choices here. I'm going to do this first to see where it goes. Okay, so it doesn't matter. That's what I wanted to know. Liquid Bronze, gain 3 thorns. We've talked about how thorns work before. This one can be good if you're playing a multicolored where you're trying to. You've got dark, plasma, frost, and all that. You could draw a lot of cards just from having those going, but it's pretty hard to pull that off. And I don't really love the rest of these that much. Beam Cell's okay because it does vulnerable, and it's free, so we're gonna pick that one up. Also, in addition to making a build around the orbs, there's some really good like melee cards that I like a lot with the Defect, but you kind of have to have a lot of them for it to work, and that's kind of difficult sometimes unless you play one of the special custom starts where you get to pick your deck and things like that, where you're drafting a deck and you can put a bunch of them in there. So let's look. I always look at the relics first because they tend to be the most powerful. 50% discount on all products. The boot, whenever you would deal 4 or less unblocked damage, increase it to 5. That's pretty handy. That adds up pretty quick. and then evoke your next orb, channel the orb that was just evoked. This is what I was talking about a minute ago. I like this card better, even though it doesn't evoke it twice. It evokes the one I have, but it puts a new one at the back of the queue of the same type. So it helps me with that rotation of constantly filling in the orbs and moving them along. So I like that much better. But I would much rather have the boot. So that is what I'm going to take. We're not doing too bad, and we've got 2 rest stops. And we have an elite. So neither way, let's do this. And instead of resting, let's smith. So increasing this block is a good idea. That does more damage. That does more vulnerability. This makes zap free, which is really good. And that makes dual cast free. I think making things vulnerable is probably the best thing we can do right now. So the question is, do I want to go up here? Gosh, there's 2 chances to rest. So we're going to go for the elite. Hopefully I don't regret that. Lagavulin, so I think we saw this in our very first episode. So he's going to stay asleep until I wake him up, but I'm going to wake him up right now, so it doesn't really matter. So this is a great time to use Melter, because he's got 8 armor already. That just takes all of it off first. And I can go ahead and evoke my orb, but I'm not going to have an orb until I get my lightning zap card back around, but it does do a lot of damage, and he's stunned for a round, so that gives us a chance to catch up. And he does do quite a bit of damage. We figured that out already. But he keeps doing a lot of damage, so we're just going to have to race him. So we're going to need both of those rest areas, is what I'm really saying. Now this will help. Okay, so our boot just kicked in, so we, instead of doing the 4 damage that we were going to do, we actually did 5 because of that. And also, we put the vulnerability on him, so this is going to do a little bit more damage than before. So let's see. Yeah, so that did a little bit more. Leap is still a great idea here. That. And even our lightning will do a little bit more damage. So we're actually killing him a little bit more efficiently than we did before. So I'm going to add that zap back. And of course I get defense and stuff on this turn when I could be doing stuff. So Siphon Soul hurts because this starts, it gives us negative strength and also our block. So it's hurting us on all fronts here. So I want to do what we can. I am going to do this because it's enough to kill him. Alright, Aura Chalkum. If you end your turn with that block, you gain 6 block. So it gives you kind of a little bit of possibilities. Consume is the main way I've seen of reducing your orb slot, so you get focus, which is that's the numbers by the orbs. In other words, the more numbers you have on them, the more powerful they are. But you lose an orb slot. This is actually a great card, especially when you upgrade it. This is basically free healing. Mostly free healing. I'll show you what I mean. So we're low now, so we're definitely going to rest and get a little bit back. And we're going to get a chest either way. We would get an elite. We already did one elite. I think I'm going to go this way so I can do another upgrade. Whenever you add a skill into your deck, upgrade it. I love that one. Toxic Egg. Sounds great. Smith a card. I want to upgrade self-repair, so now I get 10 points. Now I have to play that card during the fight, but I play it and it goes on the table because it's a power. Enter upgrade 2 random cards. They're going to be strikes and defense if I do it. I know they are, but what if they're not? Strike and defend. Well, I mean, I didn't lie. So, because I did that part of the reason because I knew we had the self-repair. So I'm going to get this on the table. That'll give us 10 hit points back if we can get through the rest of this fast. And hopefully we will. I didn't really need to do the leap. I was going to get 6 from the Orichalcum, so I'll have to try to keep remembering that. I forget quite frequently. So, Melter. Ah, so close. But that'll do it. So we're almost back up to where we were. So that's not too bad. Hello world. Start your turn, add a random card. Whenever you play a power, draw a card. Deal 15 damage, reduces cards combat. Well, so that's not too bad. Eventually that would become free during while you played it. Doesn't really fit into my deck. I really want lightning stuff, and you'll see why when I get some of those cards. Alright, so this is kind of tough, actually. I am going to want to block some of this. I normally go for the lowest HP first, but this guy's power spike is considerable. And I can get 10 points off of him really fast. So let's do that. And the lightning's going to help chip away at it too. Yeah, so this type of slime doesn't do the lick thing, or doesn't do it, didn't do it then anyway, but he adds cards to my deck that I don't want. So we want to do self-repair again. I'm just trying to find a good turn to play that on. And deal damage to you. Take away 5 of the damage you're going to do to make that not hurt as much. So he bellowed, so he just got a strength boost. And we're going to make him vulnerable. And I would love to kill him, but I don't know if this is going to happen. Nope, but we did a good job of softening up the other guy. So once again, we're going to take some more damage, but that's random. Now I guess I could have used a Thorns Potion before this, but I didn't think it was going to be this hard. And they would have done a little damage to themselves. So we can definitely kill him with that. Do that to mitigate most of the damage that we're going to get. Actually, we're not going to, because we've got enough with our strikes. Duplication Potion. This turn, your next card is played twice. That can be very good and situational. I do sometimes play a Frost build where I use Blizzard a lot. It's a lot of fun. And I'm not opposed to using self-repair twice. So I'm going to do that. So this is another good event. I love these kind of things. So you enter a corridor full of hypnotizing colored mushrooms. Due to your lack of specialization in mycology, you are unable to identify the specimens. You want to escape, but feel oddly compelled to eat a mushroom. So I can heal 20 HP, become cursed with Parasite. Parasite's unplayable. If transformed or removed from my deck, I lose 3 max HP. Or I can anger the mushrooms. So I would love to heal, but I'm going to have problems anyway, so we're going to just fight. And part of the reason I want to do that is because you do get a reward if you beat them. So we just want to kill one of these guys really as fast as we can. So we're able to do that. Now remember, these guys give me a debuff when they die, so now I've got vulnerable on me. But I also just removed one of the 2 attackers, so it was good. And my Orichalcum just kicked in for 6 armor, so I always forget that thing. So that makes that even a better play. So I want more lightning. I'd like to heal up at the end of this. I'd like to cause you problems for free. And I will take some extra block. And we'll just tough it out here for a minute. Could use Thorns again. I still think it's kind of a waste at the moment, but I could be wrong. I would love to self-heal again at the end of this. I'd really like for this to go to the second one. Yep. So I can do that. And we're once again going to take some damage, but we're going to... we got rid of one of the attackers. Alright. Do that. Do that. You're dead. So, turns out I get a relic for beating them. Odd Mushroom, when vulnerable, take 25% more attack damage than so that's then 50%. So in other words, when enemies make me vulnerable from now on, it's only half effective. Instead of doing me taking 50% more damage, I'm only taking 25% more damage. So that's good. And on this last one, we're going to rest. We most definitely are going to rest. So that gets us back up. So we're going to fight the first round. Sorry, the level 1 floor boss, and I think it's the only one we haven't seen yet, so that's good. So this is basically the slime boss. He is the biggest of the slimes. He has a hat. He kind of sort of looks like Marlon Brando, a little bit, but he splits, and he splits into the medium slimes who also split. So if you do this poorly, you can have 4 slimes with a lot of hit points on the board at once. The other thing to consider is self-repair. I get all my hit points back at the end of this fight if I win anyway. So I don't care so much about self-repair unless they're in my way. So here's a good example. I do want to channel lightning. He's not attacking this turn. These defends don't help me do anything, but if I do this, this gets it off out of my hand and goes on the table. So I won't see that particular self-heal come back up during the rest of the fight. I am also going to drink the Thorns Potion, and we are going to think about that duplication potion up there too while we play. So he adds the slime cards into my deck. We could evoke our orb 4 times. No, we could evoke each orb twice. We could lose all of our orbs, but basically evoke them each twice. There's some good reasons to do that. He's going to do a pretty big attack on us pretty soon. So that would be 3. Still not enough to make me care. So I'm going to get the other self-heal out of the way, just to improve the drawing on the deck. Slime Crush. Yep, we know slime. Have some vulnerability. So he's going to do me 35 damage here. There's not much I can do about that. Other than duplicate a card so I don't get 10 block. I mean, now if I could do 24 more points of damage right now, he would split. But we're not going to be able to do that. So I'm just trying to get him down so I can split him next time. And the advantage is, actually I just did it because of that. So I saved myself from the big attack, but I still have 2 strong slimes to deal with. So that's very interesting. I was doing that. So we definitely want some. So I can play these slime cards and they'll go away, but I use energy to play them. I can't remember which one of these I hate the most. I think I hate the gray slimes the most. I kind of want to try this to see how it works. Did actually quite a good bit of damage. So we've actually got this first one close to being split again, which is not a bad thing. Now he is split. Let's get his hit points down a little bit further. Alright. 12, 9 is 21. We cannot kill one of the slimes. But we can make the other guy. Well, if I had not hit the wrong button. Oh well, that's how to misplay the Spire. Yeah, I think we had enough to make the other one split, but we would have still had 4 to deal with, so it wouldn't be too bad. Or wouldn't have been that good, I guess I should say. Alright. Best thing I can do right now is get one off the board. And 3 block is not going to help me a whole heck of a lot. So I'm going to get rid of one of those. And I may block a little bit. Split the difference. Yeah, Thorns is helping too a little bit. So we can make him split. Or we could, he's not going to do anything this turn though. So let's not do that yet. Let's do this. And let's get some of these out of our hands. Okay, we got rid of him. Okay, so, oh, we got him just enough. So they're basically max HP for what they are. And they each got hit once. That didn't help a heck of a lot. So these aren't going to split again. We just got to kill them off. But you know they do have pretty good attack for the size and type of creature they are. Like the zap. Like that. I'm working on him even though he's not attacking just because he had less HP. And wasn't quite enough, and we're still going to mostly block our attack here that's coming. Alright. All we can do. So take 1 hit point and didn't work out that badly. Alright, so that's the slime boss. And we're through the first floor of Slay the Spire here with the Defect. 102 gold pieces. Swift Potion. Swift Potions lets you draw cards. And I saw a card I liked. Choose a card reward. Biased Cognition. Gain 4 focus. At the start of your turn, lose 1 focus. That's great if you gain that 4 focus and then you win the battle. But the longer it goes, it will drain all of your focus across all of your orbs. So that's bad in that sense. Rainbow, you get 1 of each of those. Lightning, Frost, and Dark. But we're building a lightning deck here, so we want the cool things. So lightning now hits all enemies. Channel 2 lightning. So when I put that down on the table, anytime my passive orbs, or I evoke something that causes lightning, and it's doing the random between the enemies, now it doesn't do that anymore. It hits everyone every time. And it's awesome. And it gives me 2 more lightning in my orbs, so channels 2. So that's good too. And now we get the boss chest. Alright. Every 2 turns, gain 1 orb slot. Sacred Bark, double the effectiveness of potions. Or Runic Pyramid, at the end of your turn, no longer discard your hand. That can be good in certain situations. But to be honest, in the lightning deck, I like to gain as many orb slots as possible and fill them in with lightning and just shock everyone down. So I'm going for the inserter. And we will be doing floor 2 on the next video. So yeah, we'll start Act 2 there. And we'll have a whole nother map. And is this are we destined to die on the second boss like we've done before, or are we gonna do better? We'll find out on the next time. But thanks for hanging out with me and playing along, and we'll come back next time with the second floor of the Defect, and I hope you join me. And take care. Bye, everybody.